Namaste, namaste, family of light. We are now live streaming on Facebook Live, and we also have light workers on our Zoom. Yes, and we have light workers here in person at the Cosmic Center Spiritual Light. And there's lots of activities because this is Labor Day in the United States. So it's a long weekend, and a lot of people take an opportunity to have like sort of the last hurrah of summer, and so that's understandable. But the anchoring light goes on, whether it's a holiday or not a holiday, a hurricane or not a hurricane, whatever it is. If you want a safe spot, you would come here on Monday evenings, that's for sure. Because for 17 years, it has continued every single week without fail, and for good reason. We are consciously aware of the fact that we work with higher spiritual beings of light. We are at a level of understanding that we are part of not just, multi worlds, multi universes, a multiverse. That's the new name that's out there. And as we're moving into this more collective consciousness of the multiverse, which are those have always known about it, you will see that on TV, that concept and those movies are now coming up because it's sort of like its time has come. And most certainly, what I wanted to say with the anchoring light, we've been told over time that we're going to expand our consciousness. We're going to have abilities that we didn't have before. That, get ready. Things are going to quantum in a pretty quick way. I can say for everybody that has been the experience, from definitely, and it's sort of speeded up within the past year or two. It's a different kind of feel to it. So, yeah, very exciting times ahead. What I wanted to share with everybody first is that if anybody, a lot of people are going to see this, in their feed later on. If you'd like to participate in the anchoring light transmission meditation, you could go on our website, you could read up about it. We also have a YouTube channel. You could always access the anchoring light transmissions. There's one in particular you want, you just have to remember the date. But, sometimes people just click one and that's the one for you. It is the same energetic transmission that comes in that's imprinted on the videos. The energy is still imprinted. So we've had people talk about all kinds of different experiences they have had, never having a live anchoring light, but have gone to the YouTube channel and have left their homes and moved to Sarasota as a result. So definitely there's something to that. So I want to mention before we do our little topic, which is what we normally do before we have the transmission, because it's something from the very beginning. There's something about just having an opportunity to chat and talk. It kind of somehow commingles the energy and it flows in because it is a collective energetic. It's not one person doing it, it's a collective. So just as how in the higher levels of the Amisha Dai, they have a collective, we have our collective. It's the people who show up. So you have this, ball of energy. We could look at it as a ball of different lights and frequencies and harmonics that expand out into the beautiful multiverse and picks up what needs to be picked up, integrated, processed for the purpose of serving the divine plan, which is the ascension of the planet and all for life. And I would say beyond that as well, as I understand it, that not only for the planet, not only for the solar system, but way bigger than that. So I don't have all the answers, but it said this is a small part of a much bigger picture and the key roles that we play as the Adamic race. It's like we are the Kadmon. They're like, whoa, those are the Adam Kadmon's beings. They hold the similitude and the image, and they have a soul and they have feelings. They call them emotions. Oh my goodness. Look at this creation, right? And meanwhile, this is a right? Everybody's like, so amazed, so much so that they would like to get a piece of the action that we have. So we have to really come into the realization as to who we truly are as divine creations and holding the similitude and the image of the divine and having for the angelic realm. God said, hey, you help these guys out. You're helping to serve them. You serve me, you help them. So that's a special dispensation that we get. The angelic realms are very intertwined also in our evolution as with our own. So it's a really amazing and big story that's out there. Well, let's all bring it back here now. Let's go into the microcosm, not the macrocosm. And I wanted to mention three things. At the Cosmic Center, we do have in person, but also many of our events are online as well. So you could do both in person, online. But these two events that I'm going to talk about is going to be on in person only. One is called Toning and Mindfulness, and this is with Carlos Coelho Brown, who's a music therapist, but his events are amazing. People come shifted, aligned, healed, and centered. So that's going to be on Friday, September 8th. For those of you who are local, please be sure to go and check it out. You could always go on our website, look at our calendar. All the information is there. And we have a free event. It's going to be Eating for Energy, and it's a lovely lady by the name of Celeste Cosaro, and she's the founder of Celestial Body Care. And she is going to be doing a whole thing about the factors to get more energy and doing that through food. Again, that's donation based, so it's completely free. Energy is called Eating for Energy, and that's going to be September the 9th. Again, please take a look at the calendar. And finally, I'm very excited that we have a new class that's going to be very profound. It's called Deeply Learn and Integrate the Hebrew Alphabet. Now, those of you that know, we do the names of God here. Names of God is a way of anchoring very high spiritual power. There's 5 sacred languages. Hebrew is one of them, Sanskrit, Chinese, Tibetan, and Egyptian. And from these higher light languages, brings a certain, as close as we can to the Adamic language. So for the Western mind, Hebrew is just easier, but each letter is very, very important with a more higher esoteric understanding with Kabbalah. Why are these letters so important? And this is what Reverend Libra Grossman is going to explain. It's a 22-week course on this sacred language to understand what this is and how you can align with its vibration, which will absolutely accelerate your spiritual path. That's going to be in person and also online. So all you have to go is just look for, it's going to start on the 20th of September, and it's 22 weeks. And it's a commitment. If you start this, you have to go to the end. So it isn't like, oh, let me check. No, this is serious stuff. So when it's serious like that, you can't be flippant with it at all, not with these kind of energies. So I encourage all of you that if you think you may resonate to something like that, definitely go check that out. Okay. And on September the 20th, Reverend Annie is going to have, I think it's the 20th. We'll look on there. She's going to have her plant medicine. And if you're interested in that, it's the 30th. I'm sorry, September 30th. September 30th, and it's plant medicine. We don't advertise that. If you have an interest in that, please email me at cosmiccenterosl@gmail.com. Say you have an interest. I'll send that to Reverend Annie, and she will send you the information. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Labor Day and just a few minutes on that. And the word Labor Day, have you just figured that when you came into this world, we know it's been, but even when you look, and I have noticed that, okay, you have a work day, it's something to do, you contribute to society. That's a very good thing. That's the concept behind it that, we need the person who's the farmer. We need the person who's the scientist. Okay. You need the person in different things. It's almost like an expression of the different rays, of the divine or the different archetypes of divine and coming together. You have this holistic thing, right? So that would be in harmony, given that you put in a certain amount of time, but then you also have time to rest and you have time to work on your spiritual path and also family time. Ideally, this should all kind of gel together. Okay, so that would be great. But there's many of us is saying something is a now. Okay, particularly now with the new technology. Okay, it's almost like you're on work 24/7. And I remember, I'm old enough to remember when that switch happened. There was a time where you worked, and then when you were finished with work, okay, that was that. And now you didn't do anything else and you had something else to look at. But what I see unfolding here is this ever expanding expectation that you are to be working 24/7 as almost as the job, okay, supersedes everything, okay, and other things fall under that. That's not in balance. That's not in balance. Now, the in other cultures, like for example, the family is so important. Where, for example, siesta. They have this in Europe and South American countries too, where they say, okay, and in China, I think in Japan or China, they're doing this where you work. Well, in Japan, they really work them. But anyway, they do have the break where they have beds in the workplace to take a nap, okay, to take a nap. So that's what they're doing in some countries. Okay, the idea that I feel that we got to be aware of, okay, is that, as I told a dear friend of mine, that you have a level of control here. And what I love about millennials is that they're saying, like, that's not right. We're not going to do that. I love that they do that. Like, no, no, what? No, we're not doing it. I'm like, trouble. Now, can you just go out there and be flippant? No, I'm not saying that, but there has to be a certain level of resistance to say, you can't work the humanity to death. It's not the almighty dollar, and the almighty dollar is not really coming to you anyway. You have to wake up and say, what's really going on? As I did a thing on Facebook with Dick Gregory. I know some of you may not know who Dick Gregory is, but he was an awesome person back in the 60s, and he wrote about food and taking care of yourself. He was very awakened, and he would write about it. Many people said this guy is crazy, but no, it's like he's a guru now because he knew way back when. He says, when the universe picks you, he says, you have these magic glasses. And he says that once you have those magic glasses on, you will never see things as they're supposed to be seen. You will see things as they are. He said, you can't force other people to put the magic glasses on, but you're responsible. And he says, once you have the magic glasses on, you can never take them off. So it's like, once you know, you know. So many of us are aware, that there is agenda is to keep the human population busy and stressful and all this kind of stuff. And it is going to be light workers leading the way to wake up other people to say, you know, stop, stop. We are a humanity. We are not a technology. Okay. And ideally, we're not going to be turned into robots. And at some point in our consciousness, and which is why we have to stay in the path that we are, be aware, even if it looks like everything like, oh my gosh, all the stakes are against us. No, no, no. Just know that as you hold your vibration, you help others to hold their vibration, okay, to hold the higher Christed timeline, okay, of the divine human, of the Atman Kadman, okay? Some technology is good if it's used in the good in the service of humanity, but if it's not, okay, we have to be aware of that too. We have to be aware of that too. All right, so let's all of us on this Labor Day just be aware and make sure that our lives stay in harmony and not dictated by something else. Namaste. And the other thing I want to mention to you there on Facebook Live is that next week, Monday, we will be broadcasting from Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta, that's how excited I am. I can't say the word. Mount Shasta, California. We're taking a spiritual journey over there. We're leaving this Wednesday. We'll be back after September the 13th. So, and for those that are local, do not come to the Cosmic Center Spiritual Light because no one will be here except the Ascended Masters. So, but the rest of us are going to be in Mount Shasta, and we'll broadcast from there. So next week, Monday, online only. Namaste. See you from Mount Shasta.